Am I the a-hole for emasculating my 32 female fiance 38 male in front of his family? My fiance and I have been together for about 6 years, engaged for 2. After we got engaged, we sat down and had a deal breakers talk. Basically things in our lives, our futures, hypothetical situations that leave little room for compromise, i.e. adopting children, finances, family boundaries, religion etc. One of the things on my list was no prenup. I'm not here to debate with anyone about their use. I just think that if you're preparing for divorce before even getting married, it's a sign that you're probably marrying the wrong person. He agreed and everything was fine. Lately his family, particularly his mother, keeps on bringing up signing a prenup. I've told her no many times, said this is an issue between us and we will discuss it privately and make our own decisions as a couple. He also tells her no, although more weakly. Well, last night we went there for dinner and she brought out an actual prenup drafted by her lawyer. She put it in front of me after dinner and told me to sign. Obviously I didn't even read it, let alone sign it. She called me a gold digger. No one, including my fiance, stood up for me, so I stood up for myself. I told her that there is no gold to dig here. I make 4 times as much as he makes. I'm an MD and he dropped out 2nd year. I've paid off all my student debt. He has over 100k left. I have my own house, ample savings and will certainly inherit more from my parents than he will from his. They have 6 kids and are middle class. What is she worried about? That shut her up real quick, especially when my sil then said if anything, he's the gold digger here. My fiance is now angry with me. He said it was emasculating for his family to know I'm so much more successful than him and his brothers are making jokes, and changed his contact info to gold digger. Personally, I don't think I was rude or out of line, but he thinks I was in a hole and cold handled it better. Am I the a-hole here? If there's anything emasculating here, it's that your fiance can't keep mommy out of his relationships even as he approaches 40. Holy smoke, I had skipped right over their ages. Have mercy. His mom had brought in the prenup in front of the whole family after he already said no. His mother called his fiance a gold digger in front of him and the entire family. But you were the one who emasculated him, not the a-hole. The fact that he didn't defend you is a huge red flag. The fact that he feels emasculated is a huge red flag. The fact that he blames you instead of his mother is the biggest red flag. His mother thought it was a test to see if you are good enough for her son. It was actually a test to see if he is good enough for you. He failed. This, if he wanted to not be emasculated by upstating facts, he should have put an end to this before she needed to. And, what it's worth, I will be delighted if a day comes when my wife is wildly successful and makes 4x what I do. I make good money. If she makes better money, great. Not the a-hole. Seriously, Yes, husband basically brought this upon himself by not establishing boundaries / defending up himself. Right. He seems to have no problem with mommy emasculating him. If there's anything emasculating here, it's that your fiance can't keep mommy out of his relationships even as he approaches 40. His mom is showing a lot of stereotypical narcissistic traits. Unfortunately, it's hard to keep ends from barging into your life uninvited, except by going very low contact with them and setting the boundary of not visiting them in person. It's like the police. If you have no choice but to deal with the police, don't talk to them unless you have a pair of lawyers present. Op's fiance seems to still be in denial about his family's behavior. He thinks this kind of bullying is normal and prefers to view himself as a sad sausage type martyr or victim instead. Or 1,000 times this. The neck on her, bringing out a legal doc to be signed. Edit, nicely handled by the way. Maybe tell the fiance that if he had bothered to shut his mother down, then Op wouldn't have he brought the issue on himself by allowing her to continue to harass Op about this. After that mic drop, Op shoulder pushed the prenup over to her fiancé and told him to sign it for her protection. He got what he deserved for not standing up for you, Opus. Not the a-hole. This. If he wanted to control the narrative, he should have defended you and shut his mother down. He didn't, so he doesn't get to complain about what you said or did to defend yourself. Maybe the teasing will be the catalyst for him to better himself into being a better partner to you. either by denying his family the means to interfere in your relationship or to become the breadwinner his family thought he was. Both are a win, so I guess it's dealer's choice, not the a-hole. That's a huge red flag. Yeah, top comment. You should add a rating for the bot. And if mommy is so involved now, if you do end up divorced, she will force him to take you to the cleaners. If I were you, I would reconsider the prenup to protect yourself and everything you have worked so hard for. If anything, she does need a prenup, because with how future Mill is gonna be, they're definitely going to end up divorcing. If he can't even stand up to mommy, she needs to protect her money and assets. Also that he's engaged to a highly successful woman and finds her success emasculating. Seriously, reconsider this, Opus. Not the a-hole. He didn't stand up for you, so you did for yourself. That's on him. But I'd seriously reconsider a relationship with a partner who thinks it's emasculating to make less money. I would do a prenup for my own sake if I were up in case the relationship ends. Seems weird to me to have the deal breakers conversation after getting engaged. Kind of cart before the horse. So much this. My wife 36 and I 41 are both solicitors UK, equivalent of attorneys in US. We both do fine, but she is one eye more successful than me. She's in a top 10 law firm and probably brings in 2 to 3 times what I do. And I could not be more proud of my best friend achieving that. And occasionally we even make jokes about it. And my parents know and are proud of their daughter-in-law too. Like, seriously, you should be marrying your best friend. The one person who you share everything with and who is your biggest supporter. Not to mention the fact that an attitude of expecting a woman to be less successful or make less than a man is just worryingly outdated and has no place in a modern healthy relationship. Or let his mother insults and invade their relationship. Hell yeah, I would love it if my wife made more money than me. Maybe she does. I'm not telling. Not the a-hole. He didn't find the gold digger title offensive or insulting when it was directed at you, but it's a problem if he's called one. If I can ask, why do you want to be a part of this shit show? Your future mother-in-law doesn't even pretend to respect you or your boundaries. She doesn't like you because she sees you as being beneath the family and trying to marry up. Your fiancé does nothing to intervene when his family is inappropriate and rude. His masculinity and how it's perceived are more important to him than how you feel when disrespected by his family. His idea of love is damaging. After you marry, the only thing that might change is your last name. The rest of this will not. From the little I can gather here, you bring too many great things to the table just to sit down with him and starve. To be honest, I'm second guessing things. His family is Middle Eastern and traditional, but he was raised here, so he doesn't share the same values. As he gets older, he seems to be getting weaker when standing up to his parents. His parents see me below him because I'm white and not a good girl, i.e. won't cook/clean more than my fair share, am career minded, want to adopt, don't want to be a stay-at-home mother, I'm not religious. This generally doesn't affect me because he usually stands up for me and our time is limited with them, but I do feel it's getting worse. Not the a-hole. He didn't find the gold digger title offensive or insulting when it was directed at you, but it's a problem if he's called one. This had to think what FMIL stands for before realizing it's future Mill. For Op's sake, I hope she becomes former Mill. Not the a-hole, but up for me, so I stood up for myself. I told her that there is no gold to dig here. I make 4 times as much as he makes. I'm an MD and he dropped out second year. I've paid off all my student debt. He has over 100k left. I have my own house, ample savings, and will certainly inherit more from my parents than he will from his. They have 6 kids and are middle class. What is she worried about? That shut her up real quick, especially when my sister-in-law then said, if anything, he's the gold digger here. If it weren't for the legal ramifications and for your desires, it would have been such a power move to finally sign the prenup after that tirade. Ultimate power move. Sign prenup and break up. Guy just sat there and ate his food while his mom crosses an established hard limit. Nope, and not the a-hole. Op has too much going on to full on marry this guy and be stuck with a heinous monster-in-law. right? After explaining that he and his family are the ones with the potential to benefit financially and that she makes so much more money to just go, oh, but you wanted me to sign and lock that shit up. That's right. Okay, if that's what you want. Nothing emasculating about facts. However, you should definitely do a prenup. Not because you plan on getting a divorce, but do you have homeowners insurance or car insurance? Do you plan on having a wreck or burning your house down? Doubtful. However, you cannot determine nor foresee what your betrothed is going to be like in 6 months, much less 10 years down the road. That is really all a prenup is. It's an insurance policy, but make sure your lawyer draws it up, not his. The saying you never divorce the same person you married applies here. Prenups are not because you don't trust the person your spouse is. They are to protect both of you from the people you could become, especially when angry and hurt. It is so much better to hash out these details when you live and trust each other rather than if you're resentful of the other person and want them to hurt. I'd argue that not only finances and assets should be put in a prenup, but also child custody arrangements. I really hate how stigmatized prenups are. Thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button and activate the notification bell for more videos. Also like the video if you enjoy it.